Hi, welcome to Box on the Box Rock and Celluloid, Bob Braff for short. So today I'm going to rank the albums by progressive metal legends Symphony X. So I first discovered this band about 25 years ago when a friend of mine was checking out new stuff. And I'd never heard of them, to be honest, but he bought a few albums. And of course, pricked my interest, so to speak. And obviously the guitar work of Michael Romeo was a big selling point for me. So they're a band I've dived into over the years. So let's have a look at their album ranking. So there's 9 albums. They've yet to do that 10th one. It's been a long time. I think it's coming up 10 years. So here's hoping. But probably no surprise, my choice for 9th place is their debut album, Symphony X. This features Rod Tyler on vocals. You've got Michael Romeo, Mark Pinella, still here on this. Actually, nothing wrong with Rod Tyler's vocals. It's kind of like Dream Theater, Dream and Day Unite, a good debut album. Charlie Dominici vocals are good. They're just not as good as the guy who replaced him. With this, I think what's interesting about this albums like this, when bands don't start badly but don't start great, it gives them somewhere to go. One of the issues I have with a lot of bands, they tend to kind of shoot the bolt on the first album. And then it's kind of, they're trying to kind of catch up with that really, or certainly the second. So Symphony X just set a platform for this. I think Romeo had done a solo album that he'd self-produced and so on. And I think this was very much a studio project. There's some good tracks. I'm just looking over my computer there, like Interdementias, the opening thing, got the Raging Season, Masquerade, Absinthe and The Rue, which is a really cool one, and a big epic at the end, Lesson Before Dying. It's got some good cuts on this. It's solid. I'll probably give it a 6 out of 10. So my next choice is where things step up a bit, but again, it probably won't surprise you. It's their second album, The Damnation Game. This is where Russell Allen first appears. Sorry, just going over and get those titles up. Things just improve with his vocals. He's still singing more cleanly on this. I think Russell Allen's one of the great sort of modern metal singers, really good frontman as well. This probably certainly improved things for the band in the live environment. Should say Symphony X really are a cult band. Although they play internationally, in the UK, they'll usually do one day, America and so on. They don't have big sales, but they've got a loyal fan base. And I must say, these days I do prefer them to Dream Theater. I don't buy Dream Theater stuff anymore, but I always check out Symphony X. But you got the title track on this, Savage Curtain's really good, and then you've got Winter's Dream, and then Winter's Dream The Ascension at the end. Again, the production's better on this. It sounds better with Russell Allen's vocals. So again, I'd probably give this a 6, 7 out of 10, just improving on what was before. So now we really get into the meat of Symphony X. From there on in these albums are where things really step up with the sound and they become the Symphony X that we know and love. So this might be pretty controversial, but my number 7 choice is Symphony X5, the new Melology Suite. Now, a lot of people I know really rate this as one of their best albums. I don't dislike it. It's really good. I think with Symphony X, it depends where you came in. I came into them, my mate bought this album, The Odyssey, so I was kind of drawn more to The Odyssey. I'm giving things away a bit here. And since then, and obviously I prefer probably on before this, certainly the one before that. So let's, with this, you've got some great tracks like Evolution of Grand Design. Egypt's got some really cool, Egyptian style stuff. You've got the title track, Fool's Paradise, Amstel Lights. This is really good. I'm just not sure if the songs just connected with me as much on this. It's got great crunchy riffing and so on. It's got that cool album cover as well, almost with that yin and yang. Probably the best artwork up until this point. So yeah, people are gonna rag on this. There may be, people probably it's the best album or in the top 3. But for me, it's just never grabbed me as much. But that's just me. Okay, so my next choice, and again it's controversial, is Twilight in Olympus. This is quite interesting album because the Divine Winds of Tragedy, the album immediately prior to this, kind of got them more recognition after a kind of slow start. So probably the outcome, probably they were like, look, we need to, get something out there. So this is only 52 minutes. It's pretty short for a Symphony X album. But I think it benefits from that. It means the songs are focused. You've got Smoke and Mirrors, Church of the Machine. Church of the Machine's got quite a kind of classic sort of chorus. sonata, little instrumental based on Beethoven, and then In the Dragon's Den's alright, but Through the Looking Glass is really cool, with Thomas Miller doing lyrics on that. Around the Hunt is cool, but I really like Lady of the Snow. This has got a nice Japanese pentatonic vibe. I'm guessing it might use the Hirajoshi scale, don't quote me on that. But this is the 5-note Japanese pentatonic, and it just gives it a really ethereal quality. So I find the kind of the briefness of this album helps. Like I say, a lot of reviews see this as a lesser album, but I like it, and it would be, I find it interesting when progressive metal bands do shorter albums. When Dream Theater did Distance Over Time, it benefited from having shorter arrangements, more focused. So I like this album. So my next choice, again, this might be a little bit controversial, people might have thought it had been hard, but it's Divine Wings of Tragedy. This is seen very much as one of their first real classic albums. What you've got on this, you've got Sins and Shadows, which are really good over. Then you've got the classic Sea of Lies with that fantastic Romeo solo. Guitarist will know he does that amazing. So he does a great simple sort of lick. Well, not that simple, but I think it's in D minor. I think he taps 17 and then he pulls off 13, 12 and 10. But then he does the same pattern on the G string, and you have to move two positions to tone down the fretboard on the G string, and you've got to hammer on where you tap into nothing and come back up. And then he starts moving position and the stretch gets bigger, and when you hear it, it sounds like a keyboard and it's doubled up, I think. But sorry, going into my geekness there. You got Out of the Ashes, which is a good track. The Accolade, this is a really good track, really mythological. I think it's in 6/8. Pharaoh's coming for you, top Egyptian metal. Eyes of Medusa, Witching Hour, they're pretty good. But then you've got the Divine Wings of Tragedy with the epic. I think it uses Mars the Planet Suite, and it's got a really cool kind of choral arrangement. Vocal arrangement on that at the start, I think. Candlelight Fantasia, I think this is a kind of bonus track on the CD, but this is good. It says it's moved from the vinyl release, but this is a really strong album. Really like it. Top. So now we're going to my number 4. I kind of gave it away before. It's the Odyssey, so people might think I'm mad picking this over Symphony X5 and Divine Wings of Tragedy. I think this was the first Symphony X album I heard, and I really like it. I like the conceptual element, using Homer's The Odyssey, Christopher Nolan film coming out soon. The main issue I've got this is a lot of orchestration on it. At that time, the sample and the technology is not that great, so it has a little bit of a plasticity to it in the sound, but it is really good. Inferno, Unleash the Fire is really good. Incantation Apprentice, love Accolade too, love how that builds on Divine Wings of Tragedy. And you got the Turnings, good. And the title track, the Odyssey, 24 minutes. I think that might be the longest track up until that point they did. Really good. It's got that galloping part at the end. Triumphant champion of Ithaca, which is, if it's not done right, would be total cheese, but it's really good. There is some bonus tracks on the Japanese CD. I must confess I've not heard those, just check those out. You got Mike LePond on bass coming into the band, Jason Rullo as well. I think they might have been in the previous album, apologies for not that, but they're part of the core team now. And Symphony X has a very stable lineup now, and they've obviously got a stable arrangement with how the things are done with the band. Okay, so my top 3 choices. So you'll be aware I've kind of picked what I call new Symphony X. So these are the albums that have come out in more recent times. They're albums that have come out when they've maybe started to down tune a bit more to the D standard tuning, the heavier. Russ Island's using a mix of more aggressive vocals and cleaner vocals, although I always prefer his cleaner vocals. But they've got that steady lineup on these. And it's I find it difficult to pick between the 3 of these, but my number 3 choice is Paradise Lost. So this is the first album they did where they very much had the better orchestration sounds that came in. This is from 2007. So you've had that 5-year gap from the Odyssey, and technology's improved. This is also Romeo does a great job of doing this, but they get Jens Bogren to mix this. So Jens Bogren's a great mixer. I think he could be based in Sweden or Denmark. He's really good. He's really good at mastering, and he just gets. There's a guy called Tom Zerberg and masters this, but you get like an amazing sound. I think my friend of mine, he got Jens Bogren to master his album, and he said it was worth every penny. This just kicks ass. I mean, it opens off with the instrumental. I remember playing this with a mate. He goes, it sounds like Lord of the Rings, the quality. Set the World on Fire, really good, and then Domination, great. And then Serpent's Kiss, that hauling riff on that. I think that shows Symphony X's ability. It's 5 minutes long to kind of do their thing, but do a catchy song with a really good chorus, something that Dream Theater sometimes missed to me. Then you got Paradise Lost, Even Seduction, Walls of Babylon 7, Sacrifice, Revelation. They're all really solid. This is 61 minutes, so it's not quite as long as some of their previous albums. So it's got a focus about it as well with the 10 tracks. Production's stellar, and it only gets better. So my next choice is between the two albums, and I'm going to number 2, Underworld. So again, this is 63 minutes long. What I liked about this is very song focused. This production's a little cleaner. Russell Allen's singing a cleaner voice. This came out, apologies, it is 2015, which is mad. It's been 10 years. I mean, Romeo's done 2 albums, 2 instrumental albums. His War of the Worlds albums, which sound very Symphony, especially the second one because it's got Dino Jazulik on. He's quite similar to Russell Allen, but this is a great album. Obviously instrumental, you got Nevermore, which is just a really good track. Underworld and Without You, quite a melodic track, ballady almost. Kiss of Fire, Caron, really cool track going on about I think it's the seas or the lake or something. In My Darkest Hour, Room of the Devil, Swan Song, Legend, just all really strong. It's a strong record with great guitar playing, great vocals, all the band. Again, the formula of Romeo producing, recording, engineering, the guy's a wizard with that. He's obviously great. He's got it down pat, and then Jens Bogren mixing and mastering this. My number 1 choice is 2011's Iconoclast. What I think about this is you can get a 9-track version, but that's in fact the double disc version, which is like over 80 minutes, is really worth having. Again, Jens Bogren's done his magic, Romeo's done his magic, all the band are firing all 6, and it kind of brings together all the elements. You've got the heaviness, you've got the progginess. They've stretched out and gone, right, we're gonna make a double album, and they managed to pull together 13 tracks. They very rarely dip below an L. I mean, some tracks are better than others. Some tracks are kind of 6 out of 10 tracks, but there's not a bad track on them. Odes of Iconoclast, I just think this is a phenomenal opener. Just a great pre-chorus on this. And Romeo does one of the most hilarious solos ever because Romeo's got a stock lick he does, which is a diminished 7 tapping lick across the strings. So, for instance, he'll start on the A string and play 12, 15 and tap 18. Then he'll move across onto the G string, tap the right notes there and onto the high E. And he does it all the time, but he can move it up the neck. Andy James is very good at this as well. But what he does is he does this and puts the whammy pedal on the Dizzy Tech because he can, and then it just goes ridiculous. He actually does it again, I think, on his War of the Worlds. I'm so good. Romeo's quite happy to repeat himself, if he enjoys something. You often hear him pulling out the same licks again, but I don't really mind that because I enjoy him so much. Got the End of Innocence, really good track. Dehumanized, excellent track. Bastards of the Machine, yes. Heretic, Children of Faceless God. Just really good tracks. When All Is Lost is good, maybe not quite as good. You got Electric Messiah and Prometheus opening the second disc, really good. Light of the Night, solid. Lords of Chaos, solid. And then Reign in Madness, which has got a fantastic middle section to it, almost Diary of a Madman-ish. Really good 6/8 feel on that. So this is my favourite album by them. I'd say the last 3 albums are all solid 8, 9 out of 10s. Others can disagree, but a great band. I look for their 10th album. But to me, they've just kind of arrived on a formula. Not formularised, but just apologies. Yeah, just going back to Thomas Miller still plays bass on the Divine Wings of Tragedy, but it's Mike LePond comes in on bass, I think, on the Odyssey album. And I think that's quite telling for me that my top 4 albums feature Mike LePond, kind of the last ingredients. Okay, so let me know your thoughts on the Symphony X discography. And remember, share and subscribe. Cheers.